Hey everyone, welcome back to Hugs and Honey. Good to see you today. So I, as you know, am in Orange County in Newport Beach, California right now, and I'm visiting my family who lives here, and I'm at a hotel, so I got this kind of cool, reminds me of Cuba, have this cool painting behind me, so I'm in a different environment, which I love. And I just want to talk about something that was sort of the theme today that has been happening with my clients. And it is the theme of how to handle stressful situations. Because sometimes we sort of lose ourselves or say things that we don't really want to say or do things that we don't really want to do when we're stressed out or when we're under pressure. And so what are the tools that we can use to help us through that moment and also help us sort of change the way that we react in the future? So the first thing, this is kind of going to be 5 steps. So the first step is to be conscious, to just even be aware that you are behaving in a way and reacting to something in a way that you would like to change, that it's not a behavior that you're proud of, and that you would like to behave and react differently when you get stressed out or you're under pressure or you're late or something happens that you can't control. So the first step is to just be conscious of the fact that you're not happy. The second step is starting to think about the patterns and the triggers that might occur, so that you can sort of predict when you might be stressed out. So for me, it happens when I am late. So if I'm late, I get kind of stressed out. It also happens at nighttime before I put my kids to bed. Sometimes if it's late, I usually end up getting tired around 9 or 9:30. And so if they don't start, if I tell them to get ready for bed or to start brushing their teeth and they don't do that, I can get really frustrated and start raising my voice, and my patience is thin. So I'm starting to pay attention to when I get this way and what triggers it. So usually I get this around the evening time, and what triggers it is, when my children don't respond to my requests, and I'm just losing my patience. And then with being late, I'm also thinking about, just trying to push to get someplace faster. And so that doesn't help anyone, and it brings me in with really not great energy when I arrive. So starting to recognize the pattern is one way to start to prevent it, because then you're aware that you could be getting yourself into that situation and you can do things to control it. So the third step is to sort of visualize, how do you want to behave in these situations? What can you do to behave differently? And think about, oh, I could have done it like this, or oh, I should have done it, I should have been more I should have given myself more time, and so that I wouldn't be stressed out. And so I visualize myself in a calm state of mind, driving someplace on time. Or I visualize my children, having lots of patience for them and helping them get ready for bed and encouraging them to pay attention to mommy's tone of voice so that we can all work together as a team, right? The fourth step is that when you do, we're only human, so we're going to be making mistakes, and if this is a pattern that's been going on for a long time, it's going to be harder to sort of unlearn this pattern and this habit and this way of being and this way of reacting to certain situations. So in that event, I like to apologize. And I like to just recognize that I was under stress and that the situation was difficult, and that I have compassion for myself for not behaving the best way that I could. And I also realize that I want to change the behavior. And so because of that, I want to apologize either to my children or to the people around me who I may not have been, as kind and patient and compassionate towards. And so apologies can really get you far, and they can actually change the energy of a lot of different things, because a lot of people understand and can relate to being stressed out and behaving in ways that we're not proud of, because everyone has this. Everyone behaves this way. No one is perfect, and no one acts perfectly all the time. So everyone can relate to this to some degree. So if you apologize and forgive, what we like to do in our family, and sort of I'm sharing it with you, what I do with my children specifically, and kind of with myself, is we hit the reset button. That's step number 5, is reset. Just recognize, kind of like in the moment, just stop and just say, you know what, this is not the behavior I wanted to do, wanted to have. I want to be more patient next time, and I'm going to give myself more time to get somewhere. I'm going to do whatever I can to control the outcome. Excuse me. And I'm going to visualize. I'm going to start to, pay attention to the patterns, so that when I do get in that moment where it's like, okay, it's done and now we're moving on, let's just hit that reset button and just stop that energy, kind of clear that energy, that negative energy, that heavy energy away from ourselves, and just clear it out and say, you know what, we're going to stop that there, and we're going to start fresh and go forward in a different, with different energy from now on. And just even that intention of setting and clearing and moving on from one energy to another can make a huge difference in the rest of your day and in what you choose to do next and all of that. So it's super, super important. And talk to people about your patterns, your boundaries, the ways that you're going to be changing. Talk to people before you get in the hot moment of frustration, and do it when you're calm, because when you do it when you're calm, people can hear you better, right? People can hear you, and they can understand, and they can empathize better, more so than if you are like barking orders at them, or you're getting upset with them, or you're just like being super anxious and sort of like sharing that energy with them. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about that. I mean, we all get in stressful situations, and so really, all of these thoughts, these feelings, these heavy emotions that we sometimes experience of anger and frustration and disappointment, these are heavy emotions. And so the better we get at just like taking it and then moving it through our bodies and clearing it, when we have tools and we have steps to take to do that, then we can move this energy much more quickly, and we don't hold on to it too tight and really think about it for too long and say, I wish I did this and I should have done this, and then you start stewing on it and festering it, and it gets worse, and it gets blocked somewhere in your body, and it's not healthy for us. And we can just like really focus on it too much. So the process is really about like seeing it, seeing what triggered it, wanting to change it, apologizing for our actions, and stopping it and moving forward with different intentions. And so getting familiar and comfortable with that habit is something that will really allow us to take emotions, know that from one minute to the next they're changing, that they don't have to stay with us and stick with us forever, and that we can process the emotions and move them out and use them for what they're here to do, which is to help us in our lives. So like, subscribe, comment, and share on this video. because I think some other people might need to hear this, because we all get stressed out and we all need tools on how to help us through the stress. Okay? I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you, and I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.